everyone.
Aw.
Welcome.
My camera doesn't automatically come on when I push Jordan's camera.
Uh-oh. That's not good. Welcome, everyone.
I'm so used to like starting my wave. And I'm
You're
not
just
there
like
for anyone to see. I'm
post-wave,
waving and
clicking
no
the
one sees me.
button. Hello, Spatsnat, Big Bobzilla, Paint Liquor, Chuck the Mead Man.
I'm right
Mr.
here.
Mark West,
Houdini 7.
Wad Potato N, Panic Bomb Arcade, an impossibly blue name to read. Who's that? Big? No. Who was that? Oh, wait, fourth from the top. Is that Probable Wargaming? No. Wait, what is happening? What is happening with these chats? Is this the one on the left behind? That's weird.
No.
Who's the one with the blue? Oh, it is from Probable
It's
Wargaming.
improbable. It says it right here.
Oh, it's Restream.
Yeah.
Okay, so Restream is just super dark and I couldn't read it and it was freaking me out. So I Probable Wargaming.
Spilled a half a bottle of Dark Umber on your go bag today. What? Why would you do that?
Hey, look, Brutal Burrito. Now nobody can say
That's
that
right.
you
Now
don't
it's
use it.
definitely yours.
It's definitely yours. One of a kind.
Yeah.
One of a kind.
You just made it
The
an
Dark Umber go
absolute
bag.
One of a kind.
Hello, Mo. Captain Mannerings. Hello. Houdini.
You could add some flowers to it or make it into like a tree that you've painted on the bag. But make it decor. Well, are we not good enough, Avian?
What? Yeah, Houdini 7.
Immediately
Where's the
asking
adult?
about Jason. Is he going to be here? Well, like you got us.
I think
and we're
of
pretty-
the
we're
three
pretty
of
great.
us, Jen is the most adult.
Oh, yeah.
Between Jason, myself, and you,
Oh,
100%.
yeah, 100%.
100%.
I might be the adultiest adult in the building.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Shannon's up there, but she's
She's a little bit more, yeah.
yeah.
And when I say a little bit more, I don't mean a little bit more adult. A little less
bit more-
adult.
A little less
yeah.
adult. A
little
bit
less
more like you
adult.
guys.
She's great. Shannon is a
I get too
blast.
grumpy. No, I'm too much fun to be an adult. No way. I'm.
If Jen is too much
So
fun to be an
grumpy.
adult, then what does an adult look like? A slate wall?
I am not too much fun.
Jen is a lot of fun, but also an adult. Jen has it figured out. She's got both sides of this perfectly balanced.
I don't
If you
think
go
I
any
do.
further into adult territory and less of the fun part, what do you get? Do not look at me, Baby J. I'm looking at you, Avian. Looking deep into your eyes through the digital.
Fingers crossed you have power for stream, Mike. 2 p.m. power company called for emergency service outage.
Oh, great.
Which was supposed to start an hour ago and end 3 hours from now. Hello.
Hi, Mike.
Hello. That
Broken
math
chef.
is a little weird for me.
So what? The math?
2 p.m. They called for an emergency outage, which was supposed to start an hour ago, but it's only 2 p.m. right now. So I'm confused.
Wait.
Why did I think Mike was in California and would have been on the same time as us?
Yeah, that would
Apparently
mean
not.
that Mike is 1 hour ahead of us.
Or 2
Is it?
or 3.
Well, if it was supposed to start an hour
it's
ago,
5.
and it was
Okay,
scheduled for 2.
3. Oh, so Mike is Eastern time. Mike is somewhere on the east
oh,
of the
Oh.
country.
math is hard.
It makes it seem
I know. I know. I feel a little lonely back here, a little caged in.
The curtains make it seem on the one
Yeah.
hand very professional.
Yeah. We got
but,
some new.
but
You
also,
shouldn't feel bad because we can still.
Oh, you, okay. Well, I was
that
halfway
thing in your
there,
way?
Mike.
Like literally, this curtain is positioned perfectly to where I can't see Jen at all.
We'll do that on purpose.
does that mean that Jason has to be on the
Man,
left side?
You just can't trust Chris.
That is true. That guy.
That guy.
He's a rascal.
That's much better. It needs holdbacks for the curtains, the
Yeah.
things like at the house.
Like a tie.
Mhm.
yeah.
Tie back.
So that when you walk up, you like can't see anything through the door.
I want to get some.
I know. I
curtains
was
for
like,
my house.
am I allowed to go in?
Jordan says math is hard, and Jason was summoned.
Yeah,
My math was,
that's
I'm
how that
sorry
works.
I'm late, but I had to finish my lunch. It's been a great day, but man, there's been a lot going on.
Oh, the power company called at 2.
Right.
Got it. Okay. I misread the sentence. Now math is easier. Hello.
A hangry slow fuse we do not want. That is correct.
You are from California.
Nobody
I live in
wants a
Massachusetts.
hangry.
Gabe and Chris were my saviors because they went to Porta Subs and got me a sub. Because we had a 1 o'clock meeting right after we got done with our 10 o'clock meeting at noon. Or no, we got done with our 10 o'clock meeting right at about 1.
Yeah.
I came and sat at my desk and was working on a spreadsheet for a minute. And then Jen was like, it's meeting time. No!
Porta Subs.
So there you go.
Slide right in between. They make good sandwiches, though. If I recall, you like their Italian sub.
I like
decent
Porta
bit.
Subs a lot, yeah. I get the same thing all the time. Number 4.
Yep. The Italian. Italian.
It's the classic. It's not full Italian. They just call it their classic. Classic sub.
Procrastinating painting my 30-plus Skaven warband. Any tips on what colors to paint the cobblestone sewer bases I have? Well, if you got to paint that many of them, I would do either one color in a wash, or if you want to be super fancy about it, do one color, a dry brush,
I
and
was
then a
gonna
wash.
say dry brush.
Yeah.
Sounds like the way.
Or, yeah, you could even just dry brush it and then give it a wash, which would also work. That's what I would do. Keep it simple, not complicated. You got a whole bunch of those darn clan rat things to go. And, yeah, I would.
Put some good tunes on and dry
Yeah.
brush to the beat.
Yep.
Dry brush to the beat.
That sounds
That sounds
like
fun.
a nightmare. I don't know if I would be
A
able to.
nightmare?
Jen coming in with a fire. Jen's got us all handled. She's like, guess what? Here's what you do.
Hit it with a beat.
If you're busily painting clan rats, put on some good tunes. Get to dry brushing.
Get to the dry brush.
And she's
That's boots
100%
cats,
right. What'd you say?
Boots cats. Boots
Boots,
cats.
cats, boots.
Automaton.
Patomaton. Boots, cats. Boots, cats. Boots, cats.
Or Mike.
Patomaton.
Or you can prime, layer, dry brush, wash, re-dry brush, then regret so many steps and stop. That's what I do.
And then reprime and start over.
This OMG Mike guy shows me a cool model he's been working on and has the audacity to say it looks bad. It looks fantastic,
What?
Mike. You should
Rude.
be happy with it. Well, I think you should be happy with it. Whether or not you are happy about it is entirely your decision.
I love this. Luke's gonna start making a Spotify playlist called Dry Brush to the
Dry
Beat.
brush to the beat.
I
That's
love it.
awesome.
Share it in Discord so that we can all enjoy.
Garbage model. Mike.
Vector, hello.
Oh, so B. What's going on?
Osobi, hello.
We got so many people here today.
Hello.
I hope you're all having a wonderful Tuesday. It's quite delightful. Oh my gosh. I had the first moment where a friend of mine from Seattle said that it was hot.
Uh-oh.
And he was like, man, it's 85 degrees right now, and it's hot. I'm like, sweet summer child. Let me tell you about hot.
Let me explain what hot is.
And it is not 85 degrees.
Louise.
85 without AC, though, is probably a bummer.
Yeah.
So.
Louise from Rogue Hobbies. We had a meeting yesterday, early in the morning. It was like 5 o'clock her
Late for
time,
her.
9 o'clock ours.
Yep.
And Shelby and I are in there talking with her, and she's like, "You might notice I'm shinier than normal." And she was all shiny, glistening, shiny, like oiled up for a photo shoot, shiny. And she's like, "It's like," and she named something in some foreign language, temperature-wise, ended with a C. And so it's really hot, and we have no air conditioning. She's like,
Oh.
"None of the buildings here have air conditioning." She goes, "So I don't like this time of year. We're looking into air conditioning." And when we told her, it's like, I mean, we suffer for a couple months at like, I don't think, 42, 43 C, consecutive days of like 110.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just like, no way.
No way.
Never
Captain
coming there.
Mannering said, order arrived today. Rogue Hobby set fluoros, metallics, all in with a load of other single paints. Glad
Nice.
to have the collection fleshed out now.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Oh, you're all complete now?
Always a good day.
That's
when new paint
amazing.
shows up.
You gotta put everything back in order and organize it just so. Now
Ryan,
that-
you got to make dinner soon.
What are you having?
Are we invited?
You don't need to be invited. I just need some inspiration and ideas because I never know what we should have for dinner. Jason never knows what we should have for dinner.
I got you.
Oh wait, do
You? Us?
another
I
one
got you.
gets
What?
dry brushed.
I got you.
Do
What?
do
I can send
another
you
one gets
a
dry
list of
brushed.
real cool
And
places to
another
look
one's
for
done,
fun
and another
recipe
one's
stuff.
done, another one's
I
been
don't
dry
cook.
brushed.
Wow! Did you hear that?
Not
I'm too
today.
busy singing the
That
hits.
Hurts
Not
my
today, I
soul.
don't
I am
cook.
too busy over here singing the hits.
And Jen's throwing out disses over here. I'm getting.
I'm too busy singing the hits to
destroyed
pay
over
attention to
here.
you people.
Jen said I have bad taste in kitchen recipes.
What? When did I say that? I said I don't want to cook.
Oh, I misheard what you said. It's because he was.
I'm like, what?
I definitely misheard what you
I was
said.
like, you're
He's
way
over here
too
thinking
he got
offended.
dissed. I
She's
heard-
saying I
Jen-
don't want to cook.
Jen, I heard what I thought you said was I want
Oh,
and
no.
I was just like, wow, that's brutal.
I mean,
No,
I
I
mean-
don't want to
It's
cook
like-
tonight.
I thought you and I were in a good place when it came to deciding what was good food or not. That makes much more sense, and I
I
can
was
help
like,
you with
why
that.
is
less.
Joe Chaco, hey,
so
Monument Crew,
upset
thanks
about
again for
this.
helping me with the pink inspiration last time I dropped in. I was wondering, could you help me pick some paints from your line to achieve a certain blue? I mean, yeah,
You
tell
can
us what the
try.
blue is. In Arizona, you can leave your car in the sun for 30 minutes and scramble eggs on the hood. You can cook cookies. You can bake cookies on the
Yeah,
dashboard.
baking cookies is better because then your car smells good.
Dashboard cookies.
We won't click a link here.
Ryan Wallace, there is no such thing as anything good that includes bell peppers, but
Actually, I really like bell peppers. Send me the recipe.
you're
I'm in.
incorrect.
And I have a really awesome stir fry, like not quite wok. That would be perfect for that. So.
Last time I did a color mix this channel. I will bring it up here
Sure.
and then I will walk it over to them.
Chacho.
Nice, Captain Mannerings. How can you not like bell peppers?
Hey.
Be more like me. Bell peppers equal awful.
It's okay to not like bell peppers. I'm not even going to say that you're wrong.
I'm not wrong. I am 100% right.
It's shaped like a wok, but it's not a wok. This blue. Okay.
Yeah, I can't stand bell peppers. Anything in the bell pepper family is off limits. Way off limits.
Okay. So, for the following scheme, do you want the whole scheme or do you want just the blue?
Ooh, we could do wizard.
Not quite walk. You mean a pan?
I was gonna say a pan.
Because the green's easy.
It's a pan.
Or this.
Going for a warm blue color. My buddy recommended I use Talisar blue over a silver base, but trying to avoid Citadel products. Just the blue.
Just the blue. Okay. So, just the blue. Dark gray blue is going to be your friend. And then, honestly, blue. I think this. And then I would mix in a touch of blue, and that'll get you pretty much exactly this color. And then if you want something for the shadows, you could go, since you're doing that like purple
I have to stop
trim-
you. I gotta stop you real quick. Keep your train of thought. But Nick Pie, I know where you live. If you ever stuff a bell pepper with Brussels sprouts and try to tell somebody that's food, I'm gonna have words.
Thank you.
Okay.
Toshacho said I was overthinking it.
Chochacho, I got you. So if I were to do that, I would start with dark plum because your trim is that like basically this exact purpley color. And then over that, I would put dark gray blue. And then I would mix in a little bit of blue. Or just use blue as your highlight color.
Oh, okay. So, Tochacho said the transparent blue seemed exciting, but I've never used your transparents. Basalt said Talisar is a contrast. So when you paint it over silver, it gives a metallic look. You might need to use transparents to get that same effect.
Oh, are you trying to get a metallic blue? Did I misread the previous?
Look on. Said thinking about fluorescent green for the green, dark hot pink for the trim. Not sure where to get a dark warm blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say metallic.
Yeah, if you're gonna do like metallic sheen, something like what I did with.
Said I'm not stuck to it, but a metallic sheen would be cool. I want the trim to pop the most.
Something like this would work, although you would want to use just transparent blue. This is transparent blue plus transparent green, which is why it's got that teal color. But you want to layer up your silvers, so you can start with dark silver, you could go silver, and then I use metallic medium as the brightest highlight, and then you just airbrush or glaze the transparent color over it. You want to thin down the transparent so that you get more of the value coming through from your previous shades. You can see like here. This has a gloss finish on it that I put on with our gloss varnish. But this is the general idea. Yeah, I went super glossy with this. Super de-duper glossy.
Ghost Hunter said, I forgot that Jason painted the bold sense of humor to look like it peed itself like Jason did at the airport that one time. And Mike said he didn't pee himself at the airport. We confirmed yesterday that he peed in his water bottle at the airport. No, he did not.
I did not pee in my water bottle at the airport. I'm not sharing any of my funny stories with you people anymore. You can't get them right.
They just turn them around and
or maybe they saw through the comedic joke.
You
to the real
guys can't
truth
get it
beneath.
right.
Except that there is one guy walking around, the guy that saw you in the airport, who for sure thinks that.
There is one guy who definitely thinks I peed myself.
So that guy would see this and be like, oh yeah, makes sense.
Silly.
Ghost Hunter is the guy.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
If it was somebody that actually knew me,
Yeah.
that would have been
They can
perfect.
get it right. They choose not to. Jason's water bottle leaked out of his hoodie pocket, blah, blah, blah. Jason didn't pee himself.
Exactly.
I like the story about Jason peeing himself. I think it's funny.
Game delay. I'm glad you got help. Tim! It's a Tim sighting!
Lumberjack Tim!
Tim!
No way!
Hello!
Long time no see.
No way! Impossible.
See, I didn't have the full story.
Sometimes all you need is the best parts of the story.
Slowly making your return. Well, welcome back.
Put some little dots here where the buttons go through. Mike is approving of your story.
Having a water bottle full of pee leaking out to make it look like you peed yourself at the airport is a great story. Wait a minute!
There's like a lot of steps when bathrooms are all over the place, though.
You can't win this one, Jason.
I don't.
You can't.
I had
win
my
it.
damn water bottle in the pocket of my hoodie, but I didn't screw the top on all the way. So I'm at the urinal, And I'm peeing, as you do when you're at the urinal. Ladies, sorry,
Hopefully
you may
you
not know
do.
this. But you stand there and you pee, and I was getting, my top of my hands was getting all wet. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, my brain didn't understand and comprehend what was going on, so I freaked out. You know, finished what I was doing, washed my hands, looked down, the front pocket of my hoodie is all wet. And I reached inside my hoodie, and it's my water bottle, and the cap was coming off. And I pulled the water bottle out, and I'm like, standing by the hand dryer thing with my hoodie out. You know, I think I said, I must have pissed myself while some guy was in there.
Tim's like, I feel like the story is exactly where I left off. It probably was.
That
It's probably
tracks.
something we were talking about the last time you were here, and we're still talking about
Tim, the more you stay away, the more it never changes. It just doesn't change around here.
Turns out.
when you're at the urinal, European.
Oh my gosh.
I see what you did there. Damn chat.
Damn chat indeed.
Oh, you guys are too much.
Damn chat.
Game delay said, are all the trees chopped down? You did it, Lumberjack Tim. Now you can rest. Tim is still dating the Russian girl that doesn't like his grill.
Do you speak Russian yet?
Is she like Russian, like with an accent Russian, or like of descent?
Is she connected?
Probably.
Good thing we buy your products so you can put up with chat. That's the fair exchange.
To be fair, Jason was putting up with you guys before he had products to sell.
Also true.
So, that one doesn't work as well.
Also true.
Don't worry, Jason, I
Tim-
got your back.
Tim doesn't know Russian yet, but he did find out the correct pronunciation of something that I don't want to say now because I feel like I'm probably going to say it wrong.
What is the correct pronunciation?
You going to be able to... Can you write it out phonetically?
Yeah, you might be able to phonetically do it. I'm looking for her hut in the woods with chicken legs. Getting all the trees knocked down in between. Hey, look, he's freehanding a pea. Jen got it.
Can't,
don't talk to
yes,
you
yeah. I
people.
didn't figure we'd be able to get the correct pronunciation because of the emphasis more than the sounds. Yeah.
Wow. Thanks, Mike. Is it bad? Is it a bad thing that my brain went? Jordan said phonetically without stumbling. Good for him. Thanks, Mike. Yikes. We're gonna get away
You'd
from
say-
that one, am
You
I?
say it like I need to pee rather than I need to pee.
Well, huzzah, huzzah!
So,
I'll
Baba
just throw
Yaga.
back my legs and pollute my breeches with delight.
Or is it Baba Yaga? Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
Oh.
Well, don't understand any of that.
Google Translate. I don't think Baba Yaga has anything to do with peeing at all, actually.
Jason, how have you done it all these years?
Hmm?
How do you do it? How have you survived all these years?
I don't pay attention to these people. What, are you kidding me? It's your first mistake. You're paying attention to chat. You
You're
don't pay
paying attention to chat.
You don't pay attention to chat. Have you met these people?
I have. I have met quite a few of them, actually.
Oh, Tim said she wants to go to shows with me, even though she doesn't like hardcore. That's how I knew she was a keeper.
Or just completely off her rocker.
Maybe both. Which is not a terrible thing, potentially.
Well, I mean, you know,
maybe.
and it's definitely a good sign. She doesn't like the grill, but she didn't dump him.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
she's willing to put up with the grill.
Yeah.
See what Chad has to deal with, Chad?
See what Chad has to deal with, Chad?
I think
Jordan
Chad
doesn't pay
is doing
attention to chat, but he wants us to know that he didn't pee himself. Game Delay said I learned enough Russian in junior high and high school to ruin my cursive handwriting and only remember how to say female crane operator. Is that a common phrase that's used in Russia? Like in most places, they tell you how to ask for the bathroom.
So for growing up with a guy who's as a best friend back when I lived in California, who was very like his dad was very like Russian, thick accent, you know, the whole thing. Guy kind of scared me, to be honest. He's like the grumpy dad sort of guy. I did not learn any Russian growing up.
No.
No, I don't think Nikolai did either, to be honest. Maybe he did a little bit. Man, that's a throwback, though. That's been very many years. It's been over 10 years since I lived in... No, I'm sorry. Over 20 years since I lived in California. It's been a hot minute.
There was this brown book to teach Russian, and it told a story about a good communist family. Dad was a driver, mom was a crane operator, and the daughter, I don't remember, liked disco? It's
Liked
been a while.
disco.
She liked disco and Levi's. Monument Jabe said, "Hey Jason, what's a pirate's favorite letter?"
Arr.
You just fell for a dad joke.
Nikolai learned the words to be worried about when he heard. Unclear if he knew what they actually meant.
Good old California. What a weird place.
You would think it's R, but pirates love the sea.
Oh, Game Delay? That was
Yeah,
a good follow-up.
just
I'm proud of you, Game Delay.
totally new perspective on that joke.
I like it. Jason does, so he's
I'm not paying attention to these
He's
people.
not paying
ignoring all of you
attention.
people. Where is the warm brown? Warm brown. We need yellow ochre. Okay. bright
What did the
yellow
pirate
ochre.
say when they put the helm wheel on his pants?
Do I want to know? I'm not sure I want to know. Jason just ignores me because 86% of what I say is worth ignoring. It's not fair.
The answer is R, it's driving me nuts.
Ugh.
Jason is just. Sorry, Jason. It's gonna be a rough day.
The day was going so well, too. X-ray, what's going on? I ignore Game Delay every chance I get.
Yo.
No. Uh-oh. Now
This
we're getting
is
jokes.
Oh, it's
Why do
pirate
the ghosts
joke
go to
day.
the bar? What's a pirate's favorite place to eat? See where you started, Gabe?
Well,
This is
huzzah,
what happens
huzzah.
when you
Gabe,
pay
what
with
have you
letters.
done?
Throw back my legs
What have you
and
done,
plunge
Gabe?
my breeches with
I got a
delight.
sigh from Jason. I feel accomplished. Oh, the ghosts. Well, the ghosts. That's a good one. Why'd the ghost go to a bar? For the booze.
Hey,
Was
somebody
Gabe
likes
like
us.
particularly well behaved today and just needed to act out?
Azurin Lira, thank you for the sub.
Butcher says his favorite place to eat is Arby's.
Razor Taser, thank you for the follow. The genuine chuckle from Jason followed immediately with a sigh, as though he is disappointed in himself.
Yeah.
Why is I don't think Jason's having a bad day.
I'm having a good day.
Gabe said it's because you were painting the letter R.
No one's favorite
Literally
place
right
to
there.
eat is Arby's.
No one's favorite place to eat is Arby's. Not since
Speak
they
for
got rid of the
yourself,
potato cake.
man. Speak for yourself. I happen to really like Arby's.
Why'd the cow farmer retire? He was tired of smelling dairy air. Sapo wondering how the matte varnish testing is going.
Not.
You did a little test on the.
I've
on
tested
the
a
guy.
little bit on the cloak. It worked well.
Hmm.
I have to get a lot more nitty gritty with it, and I just have not had time. So hopefully tomorrow, later in the afternoon, but most likely Thursday.
Osrin Lira is very excited. Going to be ordering the pistol grip airbrush soon from LGS Battle Pub in Texas.
Ooh, very cool.
A good one.
It's great. Love it. Dirtying up these little box of alpaca cigarettes. An alpaca of alpacas. Meanwhile, Jason's doing a really cool freehand on a big old bottle of Procro.
What about really cool?
I think freehand is pretty cool.
Well, in general, yes.
Yeah.
But a bunch of big block letters not the most fun thing on the planet, but it looks cool.
We are the folks that make Pro Acryl.
What? We do?
Yeah.
No way.
Fraser Taser said I just picked up 3 of them today. Awesome. Which colors did you get?
No way. We make paint?
Wait, we do?
No way.
Oh my gosh, Ryan Wallace, that is like a total blast from the past of listening to Dr. Demento when I was like 10
Dr.
years old.
Demento. Holy hell.
Ryan Wallace said I stepped in a pile of shaving cream. Be nice and clean. Shave every day and you'll always look keen. Wasn't that Dr. Demento?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
This is the bold sense of humor model. That is correct.
It is. It is the best brush holder on the planet.
Full titanium white, always a good choice to start. Bright neutral gray and copper. Like it. Good choices.
Okay, now the hard word.
Acryl?
Acryl. I have to turn a bottle on its side. So you can see, like, I think the Y and the L fit inside the
Oh, yeah.
P.
Game delay.
There's a lot of, like,
What
missing
is
space
that?
there.
Game delay said, I'm getting the vibes that one day Lawrence is going to look directly into my soul, pull out a wire hanger, and offer to measure my aura. I don't know what any of that means.
What the hell?
You don't know that anyone on the stream makes a lot of paint? Jason makes all of it. You mean that none of us put it in the bottles?
I
You're
I
mostly
don't put it in
correct.
bottles.
You're mostly correct that we don't do that unless we are needed.
Yes.
But it's been a long time since I've put any paint in bottles.
Jen and I used to.
We did.
I have never put a paint in a bottle before.
Nope.
I've capped a bottle before. Why didn't you get it done? Hmm?
Drunk Guy and Hungry, who did that, said I needed to fix my aura while I was still there, or it would never get fixed. And he was going to do that with a wire hanger. I hope you ran the opposite direction because
That sounds scary.
sounds
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Osrin Lyra said, I'm happy to say that with the 3 new signature sets, I have finally filled my Go Bag Evo completely with Proacryl paints.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
We thank you.
Yeah.
He had batteries too. Like he was battery operated? Or he was holding them? I don't understand.
I think it has something to do with
I'm pretty
attaching
sure that's called
batteries
murder.
to the clothes hanger.
It was a battery operated clothes hanger?
Yep.
Hanger was battery operated, obviously. Should have let him fix my aura with the batteries and the coat hanger, and he was real drunk. He could make the wind blow, he said.
I want to know this person.
Paint Liquor said a girl once approached and said my aura was amber and then walked away. Still think about that to this day. Did you Google, like, what does it mean if your aura is amber? Right, X-Ray, and I'm wondering too. I'm like, Amberly, are you okay today?
I now need to know. Somebody should find out for me.
Love Check Tim said I traded all my Song of Ice and Fire minis recently for cash.
Tim, what are you doing?
Traded them for cash.
Tim is having a midlife crisis.
Happens to the best of us. You never look. You think about it to this day, but you've never looked it up.
I think
amber
that
is
this
the
needs
color
to
of
be
your
remedied.
energy. That's where my mind went to. Were you at a 311 concert? A girl once approached me, and I walked away. If you Google it, you're just gonna get a bunch of 311 lyrics. I'm genuinely okay, said Yamdale. This was just one of the more surreal encounters I've had with a person. He also controlled the Hungarian election results. He said the other American I was with, he said, the other American I was with said, so you voted? I had a random encounter like that with a guy in the airport in San Francisco. And he had a
Do
lot of
tell.
things to say.
Do
Yeah.
tell.
A lot of things to
Sounds
say.
like an interesting
There were
story.
conspiracies involved and, yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Fascinating human beings. A lot of them.
I like those weird run-ins. As long as they're not scary. Tim said he got rid of those minis or traded those minis for cash because he doesn't play anything and he wants to focus on display stuff. Did the guy in the airport have a water bottle?
Hey,
That
I'm gonna need
is
y'all
funny.
calm the hell down.
I think that's pretty funny.
Not at all.
Full circle.
I think that that's a great way to turn the joke around again.
Not
One
at
more
all.
How are those letters coming over there?
Fine.
They're coming along. What size brush are you using over there?
About 4.
4? Yeah.
Ryan Wallace said it's like how I don't play Crisis Protocol, but watching Jordan paint Thanos makes me want to get them just to paint.
This guy?
Hey, sometimes you gotta have things just to paint, just because you like them.
He's fun to paint. Thanos. I gotta finish that diorama bit for him at some point.
Was it a gift? Or like a birthday, or
It is
No.
a gift for somebody.
it's a gift? Like, you have a target date when you need to
No.
have it done. Just wait till the day Jordan pees himself, see if he's laughing then.
The little glowy bit on the bottom of that metal. Trying to get the shine right on these things.
Jordan freehands hobby nerd. Jason decides he needs to freehand pro crow. What's up next? Gabe, what are you freehanding?
Yeah, Gabe. What are you freehanding?
Himself.
I'm so glad he didn't ask me.
Himself. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, but I like it.
The idea when we're getting more Sable Zero brushes. Try them compared to the synthetics.
Soon.
Thanks.
Probably somewhere coming around the end of the month.
No, I'm glad you didn't ask me, because I'm not freehanding anything.
Okay. Those are starting to look pretty good.
Saw some wolf bristle brushes recently. Do you think someone shaved a wolf to get brushes?
They say that they do it in a regular manner, but wolf hair is not something that shows up on the radar of any other brush makers, so I'm not sure that they've... That's an odd one for the rest of us.
Yeah, isn't wolf hair like...
Maybe they keep a pack of
pretty
wolves and
coarse?
they shed like Korra, and they just collect all of the shedding.
I think it's a joke. Or not a joke, but I think it's marketing. Heavy marketing.
That it's not really wolf.
I don't know. They say it is, so who am I to say?
Bright spot on this little helmet. Biker helmet.
About Shalebi, she could freehand something soon. True. Does she ever find that $10? Does someone hide $10?
Oh my gosh, I need to know. I don't know.
I don't know the $10.
So, on one of our recent trips to AJ's, Shelby and I were tasked with acquiring a
Oh, for
thing
Kyle.
of tea for Kyle.
And he tried to pay her, and she wouldn't take it, and so he hid $10 somewhere for her.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He paid her on Venmo. She went refuse, and then he's like, "Well, I'm just gonna hide $10 in your office then."
Yeah.
She doesn't have a lot of stuff in her office, so
No, there's not a whole lot. It even told her what he hit it, and it rhymes
It
with
rhymes with Kyle.
Kyle.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember this.
And
now.
we checked the
Yes,
file
'cause
drawer.
We said file.
We checked the pile of stuff.
Pile. Yeah.
The only thing that we really didn't check were the tiles in the ceiling.
Oh, that's got to be weird.
He said he didn't do it up there. He said he
That's
wouldn't
what he
put
said.
it in the ceiling. So
But
Well, that's obviously what you would say if you didn't want someone to find it.
he was pretty
That's
adamant
cheating.
that was
Yeah.
not the case.
I'd call him a cheater if he did that.
Have to know. Tochacho said, not expecting you guys to be encyclopedias, but thought you might know a thing or two about this. Any chance you know if Necromunda models are awkwardly bigger than 40k proper ones? Was thinking of using a gang as cultist proxies, but my buddy said they're bigger and it'd be awkward if they were taller than a space marine.
They're not.
Necromunda is
They're in the
actually
same
a
scale.
smaller scale.
Well, the characters are just smaller because they're human. They're not Space Marines, right? So they should be in the same scale. I mean, they're going to be smaller than Space Marines for sure.
Yeah, you use the same models.
Yeah.
Then Mike said, got some third-party bases which are nicer than standard GW for this.
Middle Earth strategy battle game.
If for slotted minis, is there a real compelling reason for me to not cut the slot off the bottom and glue them like any other mini?
That's what I do.
That's what I would do. Yeah. The only reason there's some instances where I wouldn't, and that's only on models that are like jumping off of a back toe. That is the only connection point with the base, and then I would keep it.
Don't buy those.
But like Jason just said, don't buy those models because that sounds terrible. But yeah, the problem with the slot bases is while they're convenient, or they used to be convenient, they really don't always have the right positioning on the base. So being able to customize how that goes is much better. I stopped caring about it, and he eventually revealed its hiding place.
Oh, I can send her a
Shelby.
message in chat and ask her.
Yeah, I'm
Or
very
the chat
curious as
needs
to
to know.
where he divulged that it had been hiding. Curious minds must know.
See if she answers. He crammed it in. Well, no, the carpet is standard office flat carpet, no pile.
Oh, Kyle Pyle.
Kyle pile. Mike said just standard standing dudes. Good to know. I'm gonna leave them on for painting off the bases. Cool, thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
He has it on his person, so every time he's in the office, it's hidden on something that rhymes with Kyle.
Because it's just Kyle.
Yeah, because it's just Kyle. Kyle rhymes with Kyle. I'm gonna say no on that one just because
That's a little too
out
of the box.
and yeah, she wouldn't like look on his person. So.
We do have some rules here at the office.
We do have some limits. He put it under the radio dial because he knew she wouldn't touch it. They explicitly tell you not to.
Don't touch that dial.
Don't touch that dial.
Yeah, I literally like Shelby really doesn't have very much in her office.
She has a desk that doesn't have any drawers.
Yeah.
She has a file cabinet.
Yep.
And a chair.
Yeah, and a pile of stuff.
And a pile of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not a pile. He put it on a hat for style. We're all assuming he knows what rhyming is.
This is also
He's
true.
pretty smart, but
There you go.
you know.
Pro curl.
Nice.
oh, it looks so good.
I mean, I gotta finish it, but I got the letters lined out, which is the stressful part.
Yeah, no frisking people for cash in the office. That's definitely an HR visit.
From the dog.
That's what I thought. Game delay: the file or the pile. Try to maintain the tabs for what? Oh, for some models that were out of print.
What if it's a $10 gift code hidden on a file on her computer? Like he hacked in?
No, it was a bill.
$10 bill?
Mm-hmm. So what was this end of the story? What did she say? She gave it back to him?
I'm waiting to hear if she found it.
Yeah, exactly. They tell you not to touch the dial, and then they say to crank it and tear the knob off. People can't follow it. Don't know what you expect. It's inside a bottle of Procryl.
I feel like we're getting to a point in society where references to the radio are going to
Be like
less
references to
strong.
cassette
Yeah,
tapes.
Exactly. People aren't going to know when we say don't touch that dial. They won't know what that means. What's a radio?
Kids these days.
Shelby, have you ever operated a radio?
That was Gabe.
Gabe, have you ever operated a radio?
He could have also said that he hit it, but didn't, because then it would make her crazy.
Kyle isn't like that. Kyle
he
would
really
have
isn't.
hit it very well. Just waiting for her to. Maybe it's under the file cabinet. Did anybody check?
I tried to, and then I dropped a whole bunch of models off of her file cabinet.
Oh, that's right.
You were there for this?
Yep.
But no, I don't think we found any underneath the filing cabinet.
He may have taped it.
Used to be said on TV before
That's
commercial.
very
What are
likely.
commercials? We stream.
I tell everybody all the time, yeah, we do a live show on television. I mean,
a lot of people watch it on their television.
it's exactly right.
Some of my employees don't know what the save icon is. What? Oh, because it's a little disc. Yeah.
They said, "Oh, look, it's you have like a model of the save icon."
Yeah.
We saw that thing where the
3D
kid they
printed
handed a
model
kid
of
a
the save
3.5
icon.
inch floppy. And he goes, "It's the save icon."
I have owned floppy disks, so I am old enough to understand that joke.
It's like they had. I was listening to a guy say that they were doing video game demos at like a youth event, like for kids and young kids, introducing them to video games and stuff like that. And they had a keyboard on one station, keyboard and mouse on one station, and a controller, like a PlayStation controller, on the other one. For the maybe they had. I don't remember what was hooked up to them. Obviously PCs. And maybe one of them was a console game or whatever. And the kids came up, and the first thing they did was try to touch the screen to do stuff.
Yeah.
You know, on the computer screen.
Shelby was showing. This is terrible. Shelby was showing me her box of her little garden gnome things, and I was looking at the back of it and looking at the pictures, and I seriously went like this to try and make it bigger.
You pinched it to try to
Yes,
make it bigger?
I'm like,
no.
I need a break, and I set it down and walked away. I'm like, I can't. What is wrong with me right now? It was terrible.
That's awesome.
Like, I'm mortified that I just did that.
That's awesome.
Streaming does have commercials now, but TVs don't have dials anymore. That's where it gets tricky.
True. OMG, Mike, you're all up on my 85-inch TV
Whoa,
right now.
that's a lot of
TV
monument
stars.
hobbies.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of. That's a lot of
That's
monument.
a lot of
right
real
there.
estate. There's a whole lot of monument right there. Ugh.
Gabe said, I remember being in first grade. Someone brought a floppy disk to my computer class. It felt like it was an ancient piece of technology. It was, probably by that time.
I remember playing computer games off of floppy disks at my grandparents' house when I went to stay.
The ones that were actually floppy, or the...
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Not the
Not the
actual floppies.
floppy. Yeah. I was not around for the floppy disks.
You know, when someone's sharing their screen in a meeting and you scroll, try to scroll. That's another one.
I was
That's
I
not
was
as bad
around
as
I was
trying to
around when the floppy
enlarge
disk
a picture
became
on
a thing.
box.
It used to be tape drives before the floppy disk. And I remember when I got the first disk drive for my Commodore VIC-20.
Spatsnat said I have the first program I wrote on saved on paper tape.
That's awesome. I found the 5 1/4 inch floppy disk version of the first BattleTech video game, the Crescent Hawks Inception. We have that in my bookcase at home.
Malev said I remember pulling the slide on the hard disk floppy to reveal the tape.
Tape? What are you talking about? It's a disc. Made out of the magnetic tape from your tape.
Actually, it said, wait, are you going to tell me that Shrek is older than you too, Gabe?
Actually, I think this came up the other day. And I think, yes.
You think Shrek is older than Gabe? Is that what you said, Jordan?
I think
Gabe
so.
just turned 25, so do the math. Whatever that is. Was Shrek 1999 or before?
I don't remember.
Because I believe that Jabe was born in 1999.
Ryan Wallace.
That math would be right.
No, the discs had a slide because when you put them in, it slid it aside so that it could access the disc.
Oh, Gabe said he's older than Shrek. Okay.
Gabe's like, don't worry. Don't worry, guys.
Dot
I am
matrix
older.
printers, yep.
You want your bell peppers and beef recipe? What do you mean?
Ryan, I'm with you. This is what I have to deal with every day.
What did I say? I'm 30. I remember a lot of these things, okay? I'm 5 years. I have 5 years of older technology information.
Yeah, the fun transitional technologies, you call it, game delay, but the electronic typewriters, the first ones, were around for a long time. They had the ball, right?
Yeah,
They had all of
and
the
you
letters
could go
were on a
back
ball.
And it did have a little...
And
had
you could
whiteout.
backspace. It had a little display screen readout, and you could backspace so many spaces, and it would have the whiteout ribbon would come up, and the ball would hit it with the whiteout ribbon,
Yeah.
and then you could type over it.
I most certainly am not Ryan Wallace. If Gabe is older than Shrek, I most certainly am older than Shrek.
Shrek is older than Shelby.
That I can believe. Which means that Gabe's not that far off.
Tape drives are coming back in because the cost of storage per terabyte is pretty low now for tape drives? That can't be right. That's some hipster nonsense right there because the solid state terabyte drives are ridiculously cheap. Why would you want tape?
Spatsnet has 20 plus 3.5-inch disc set to install Windows 3.1.
Oh my God, can you remember? It came in a book and you folded it out and it had like 8 discs, 4 on each page. It was like 8, or maybe it even had a page in the middle. I still have, well, I guess those were CDs. The original CD-ROM didn't hold much. And so I had a game, there was a game, one that I remember called the Black Dahlia Murders on PC, and it was at least 4 CD-ROMs
That's so funny.
full of stuff, and you'd have to change the CDs at certain points in the game.
Oh, wow.
It would have like an intermission screen. It'd say, place a disc 2, and you'd put disc 2 in and continue
Yeah, that's
playing
what
the game.
Malev's saying. I remember installing PC games that would come with multiple discs.
Here's
Getting
one.
so hyped to hit disc 3.
Gabe, do you remember movies that you bought? Well, movies that you bought from the store having 2 separate discs for you to play because they were too long?
I remember Titanic having 2 VHS tapes because it was so long.
Yeah.
How's that?
Well, hey, I remember owning Dragon Ball Z VHS tapes when I was young.
Multiple AOL CDs. I used to have a bunch of them because I used them as coasters. They used to just mail those things to you.
Yeah.
You'd get them and you'd make them into coasters. We used them as terrain bases when we would make terrain for war games.
Okay,
Extria knows
good.
Titanic with the 2 tapes.
Your phone has more RAM than your first computer did. I mean, by a long shot. What are you talking about? Like, aren't our phones like 16 gig?
Our phones have better cameras than like our big fancy cameras. I mean, not the ones we use for streaming and stuff, but like my fancy camera.
Oh, yeah.
My phone is
Oh,
better camera.
better. Yeah, there's no need to even buy those. Yeah, I mean, my phone's like 16 gig is the smallest you can get. My first computer was 256K.
Yep.
Not meg.
Record size laser
K.
discs, yes. Those were not. They weren't around very long, right?
Laserdisc was around for quite a while.
Was it?
Yeah. I had a hell
They
of a
were just
Laserdisc
super
collection. I wish I still
expensive.
had all those.
Had your picture taken with a disposable camera on Saturday. They're coming back. Everything old is new again.
Camera stuff is weird though when it comes to like old school tech, because there's some elements of like old school cameras.
Film cameras are
Yeah.
cool and can give you good effects and stuff like that for sure.
Malev, you slap paint on the CD, make some notes on it, put it in your CD storage with the rest of your saved CD color palettes. I mean, they make notebooks.
That's not as cool.
Notebooks. I'm telling you. You could use cursive writing if you're trying to be a hipster.
Oh my gosh. Game Delay said we had an entire library of movies recorded off TV onto VHS.
Oh, yeah.
Mother-in-law typed up a database for my mom, printed out lists on dot matrix.
Oh my
or, you know,
gosh.
rip
Yeah.
the side, like the holes off
That's
the side of the paper.
insane.
I can remember recording the off-TV movies.
Yeah.
They're horrible. Horrible quality.
Or having
Commercials
to
and all.
programming your VCR to record something.
I remember selling people TiVo back when people still recorded stuff on.
TiVo's not that long.
I know, but still, like,
You gotta remember, Jordan.
no, I understand,
We're old.
but I'm still interesting. It's interesting to think of like how something like that just like doesn't exist anymore.
The TiVo itself doesn't, but DVR does.
Very, very.
Through cable, yeah.
Well, I guess the DVRs they still have the capability of doing it. I guess it's been a while since
Yeah.
It's just
Had
built
cable.
into everything. It's not its own thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a one device.
Rondorio, the VIC-20, you had the Atari 800.
I had the VIC-20.
I don't even know what an Atari 800 is. Is that even a thing? I had an Atari Series 7. Remember those? It had the keyboard was built into the monitor piece. No, keyboard was separate, but it had its own monitor that I think the computer part was inside the monitor housing, right? I think it was called an Atari Series 7.
Printing out MapQuest directions. Yes.
Yep, that I remember.
TSR-80, yep. TSR-80 had some really cool
VHS
games.
roulette.
I was jealous of my buddy that had a TSR-80. It had cool games on it that you couldn't get. Your first system was a ColecoVision?
Finding
For
a,
games, you mean? I mean, it was only games. but
Finding
yeah.
a VHS tape and like, wonder what's on this one. Is it a family reunion or Saturday morning cartoon?
Or
porn.
something
Or
even
something
more
else.
nefarious.
Or porn. Because the labels always came off of them. I always lived in places where it was very hot and humid, so the labels would wrinkle up and come off, even the ones from the store-bought VHS tapes. So you could never tell what the hell was on them.
Question from Kyle Davis. Speaking of age, is there any special considerations that I should take into consideration when revisiting paint that's been sitting idle for 2+ years?
Depends on the paint. With ours, no. With other people's paint that doesn't actually seal, a lot of times you'll wind up with it being really thick as most of the water or some of the water content has evaporated out of it. So that can cause a problem.
Shelby's here. You all are saying so many things that make no sense to me.
Shelby. Oh, wait.
Shelby, did you find your $10?
Yeah, we need the answer. We must know.
We've been wondering. Oh, she responded back to me here. Oh, I thought that Ghost Hunter did say that in chat, Shelby, but I thought that he was just like kind of making up a story. So Shelby stopped caring about the $10, and so Kyle showed her where he hid it. So where was it?
Yeah, I need
We
to
still
know
need
where
to
it
know.
was.
Yeah, we heard that part.
Extreme said my family's first game system was the Sega Saturn. My dad thought the PS1 was going to tank.
Boy, was he wrong.
That's forgivable, though, because Sony wasn't known for games. Where Sega and Nintendo were.
He hid it above the window blinds in the little metal cover at the top. How does that rhyme with Kyle?
He's a liar.
He doesn't know rhyming. Someone earlier said that. We assumed that Kyle understands rhyming.
I don't even know how to thoroughly describe where it was.
Clearly not in any place that rhymed with Kyle.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle.
That was a
what a
wild
lie.
goose chase. It was next to the ceiling tile. Okay.
He's like, I didn't put it in the ceiling. I just put it next to the ceiling.
So he really doesn't know rhyming.
Yeah, he doesn't understand.
Kyle does not understand.
So did you then give it back to him? Is this like Jason and me with the Uline catalogs where we just go back and forth hiding them?
Are you guys hiding Uline catalogs?
Yeah.
For years.
Oh my gosh.
One will come and I'll like put it under her pillow. And she'll go to bed and find it, and I'm assuming she'll giggle a little bit. And then she'll hide it someplace where I'll find it. The last time I found it, it was on my clothes hamper underneath all my dirty clothes.
Yeah.
So when I went to get the last of my dirty clothes to wash, I'm like, Uline catalog. The gift that keeps on giving.
That was his whole thing. You asked me if I put it in the ceiling tile, not next to it. It rhymes with Kyle. I put it in.
It still doesn't rhyme with Kyle.
Yeah.
You kept it, but that was your plan all along. And
It's in a room
funny.
with a
That's
tile.
why this all
Rhymes with
started.
Kyle.
You call him a dirty cheat?
Bug King. Hello.
Sega Saturn Master System and a full set of accessories for the C64. Nice. Nice. Please, Wizardry,
Maybe I
Temple
had
of
a Commodore
Apshai,
64.
or Ultima 1, all of them.
We had the Commodore that was just basically a keyboard and you plugged it into your TV. Which one was that?
What's that?
We had the Commodore that was basically, it was a keyboard and you plugged it into your TV.
Either of them, the VIC-20 and the Commodore 64 both did that.
Okay, I don't remember. I missed being at Adepticon.
Temple of Apshai is like an amazing game. So is Wizardry. Those are some of the best like fantasy games. I got the Bard's Tale remix that they did. That's the old Bard's Tale, but it's on PC now, and it's fun. It's not what I remember it though.
Oh, speaking of games, Jason, when would you like to take a look at Elden Ring co-op?
Never.
Ooh, that hurts my feelings.
Never.
I am sad now.
Never.
Nodens, it definitely counts.
Sadder now.
It's good to have something to look forward to. You ended up with 3 N64s because anytime I hear a friend think about get rid of it, I took it.
I don't have any of that. My first game system was an Atari 2600. We had a game system that played a few games, like Pong, and it had a paddle, but it was only a couple of, and no cartridges or anything. It was just like a all-in-one video system. Back in the day, we had that, and then we got an Atari 2600, and then I had a, what was it called? Omnivision?
Omnivision?
I think we figured out it's just called Omni. I don't remember. Omnivision?
Omnivision
It was the
sounds like
Magnavox one.
I feel like hardly anyone remembers the Intellivision. I remember the Intellivision.
Yeah, it was out at the same time Intellivision came out. and television had the crappy controllers with the disc that you had to move on them.
Well, King, what are you talking about? Jason's not a jerk. The nicest guy I know.
I give what I receive, Bug. I give what I receive.
Spatsnat said every time I go to my daughter's house, a Lego minifig ends up somewhere in the house. Occasionally, I will find them back at mine. That's awesome. I grew up on a farm. My first game system was being told, go outside and play.
Well, that was all of our. Well, I say all of our. That was mine as well.
He said, well, I'm a jerk, so that reads true.
See? Told you.
All right, Gabe. I must know, what was your first game system?
Who?
Gabe.
Gabe better be working.
He said it was a GameCube.
He
His
ain't
work
got
is
time to be
watching the
listening to your nonsense.
Wow. Wow. Well. Well.
The Atari 2600, of course, very well known. The Omnivision, or whatever the hell it was called, not so well known, but it had some neat games on
it. Shelby, Gabe, we had a PlayStation.
My parents tried that, go outside and play, but I wore them down.
The Atari 800 was a legit computer. Well, like I said, I had an Atari Series 7, and it was a real computer. It ran on the OS that wound up being Macintosh's OS, from what I understand.
It was Dad's PlayStation. It doesn't count.
It was very similar to the original Apple OS stuff. It was really silly. But it was the best sequencing computer for MIDI sequencing for music, was an Atari. And it was so much so, the software they had and the way everything ran was so crisp and clean. This is back before digital recording, so this was just sequencing. And so you would make your song in your notation software, and it would control your keyboard and all of your MIDI stuff. And the Atari did it so much better than Apple or any the really PC wasn't even in the running back then. And this would have been maybe mid to late 90s, early 2000s, that people could sell this old crappy Atari computer that was not useful for anything other than having that like Mark of the Unicorn software or whoever made the software on it to run your music studio. So you had this crappy Atari computer that nobody ever heard of in a time where everybody had like, you know, the what do they call it? The Pro Macintosh towers and stuff that were $3,000-$4,000, you know. And here I had this Atari, and people would come into my studio. These big music producers would come in my studio, and they'd be like, "You have one? No way!" It was like the most hipster thing I've ever had was this stupid old computer. But the problem was you couldn't get them fixed or keep them alive. So.
Mm-hmm.
Get what the damn computer was even called.
From what I understand, modern OSs are extremely bloated. Yes, they are. They're full of a bunch of junk that you don't need.
Back in my day, we had a stick in an old Campbell's soup can, and we were happy.
Yeah, that's not inaccurate. Couldn't get them fixed or keep them alive. Yeah, just like my grandpa. Oh my gosh, Mike.
Grandpa. Gosh, it looks so good.
We had explosives. We were always entertained. Yikes.
You weren't happy? You just didn't know better than a can and a stick.
Yeah, I wish there was a way to show kids, like I'm sure every generation says this. You know, you wish there was a way to show kids these days life without the electronic devices. You know,
It's hard to remember what we did. I mean, I remember so if you wanted to go to a movie, you looked at the movie listings in the newspaper.
yeah, the weekend guide
Yeah,
was what we had.
Wednesdays and Fridays. Well, mostly Fridays, and then Wednesdays was a recent thing. Like, I mean, not recent, but within the last 30 years, maybe they started doing Wednesday movie releases.
Feel like that's right.
Yeah, and then Movie Phone or Mr. Movie. Take them to an Amish settlement for a week.
Oh my God, movie phone.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
What is movie phone?
You called up to find the show times.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually kind of convenient.
No.
No, not
You
really.
had to listen to the whole
It's much
thing.
easier to go to
You had to
Fandango.
listen to all of them. Like
Oh,
it
you had to
was
listen to
literally
all of them?
recording. So like
Ooh.
you called the number, yeah, press 1 for a list of new releases. Press 2 for action movies.
Never mind. That's less good.
Wish there was a way to show kids life without electronic noises. I'm pretty sure that's now called child abuse. Hot Tomato said, my mom says when I was young, like 5, I decided the NES was so superior to our Commodore 64 that I threw it down a flight of stairs. Which, if true, is a real bummer in retrospect. I've also learned in more recent years that my mom isn't always the most reliable historian. Boy Scouts do a decent job of it when you go camping in internet deserts. My son dropped out. He couldn't handle the lack of connectivity.
Man, so wait, they're letting Boy Scouts be connected to the internet on campouts now? What the heck?
No,
No, they're saying you couldn't
they
be.
couldn't
okay, good.
connect, and that's why he quit. Shelby said, my brothers and I had electronics, and we still dug holes in the backyard for fun.
Well,
'Cause your parents are Shannon and Jason.
yeah, and one of your brothers is Gabe.
Yeah.
That sounds like something Gabe would have done when he was a kid. Doesn't it? Run around and dig holes for no reason. Baby Jabe? Just digging a hole?
When I was in Flagstaff, the fiber optic cable that leads up there would get cut. There would be no internet or cellular connection for days. You had to go visit friends in person to see if they wanted to hang out. Crazy.
Yeah, my mom was always like, she's always like, you need to get out of here. Go see if one of your friends wants to play. So I'd be driving her nuts.
It's like, please get out of here.
She's like, I'm gonna kill you.
Mike, it's a daily struggle.
Okay.
He hasn't seen any of my favorite movies.
It's just enough to get the just and come to the wrong conclusion. Hmm.
I've said it many times. I think Jordan was chained in the basement as a child.
To be fair, you've only met half of my parents, so
Be home by dark?
Technology, 'cause I
Probably
don't
not
have to
before
see
dark.
people in person anymore.
I had to be home before the streetlights came, or as the streetlights came on, right?
We've talked about this before, that my friend and I, when I was 8 years old, so it was like right before I moved to Arizona, and my best friend's mom was a smoker, and so she would send us to the 7-Eleven on the corner with a note to buy cigarettes, and they would do it.
Yeah, you used to be able to go pick up your mom's prescription.
Yeah.
Tell your mom I hope she gets off the codeine soon.
You bought cigarettes that way too, then learned how to write your own notes. You've only met half my parents. Has me thinking that Jordan's parents are so friendly during the day, but when the moon rises, something changes.
That's kind of what I heard when he said that too.
Peopling is overrated. Seeing friends is fine, but I don't need to be meeting randos. Exactly. I don't want to talk to you on the phone.
Jason has met my
Father?
my grandmother, my stepmom, and my stepsister.
Wait, say that again? Jason has met who?
My dad,
Okay.
my grandmother.
I
my
missed the
step-
dad at the beginning. I got the rest of them. And I was like,
okay,
wait
yeah.
a minute. Did you say a parent in there? Because
Yeah, I did. Schooling is overrated. Seeing friends is fine. Boop boop. Teeny tiny victories. Boop boop to you.
that wasn't for you. Clearly says Captain Mannering.
It does.
And Captain Mannering's boop booped back.
Should just be beep boop. Oh my gosh. Still on the water bottle thing, huh? Jason, you're never getting away from the water bottle.
What happened now? Chat still being chat?
Yep.
Yep.
When is chat ever not chat?
Did I have the water bottle when I met his parents? It was in my pocket.
Whenever Jason always has his like water containers around here, it always freaks me out because he walks around with it with the lid off.
Because what?
He walks around with it with the lid off.
Oh.
Why does that freak you out?
Just because I'm like, somebody's gonna knock it over and it's gonna spill and it's gonna.
Don't
spill
be
water.
clumsy.
Have you met me? I'm at least a little bit of that.
Uh-oh. Oh, Captain Mannering's and Teeny Tiny Victories are separate at the moment. Teeny Tiny Victories over at our new house. I'm at our old place, and I have the new Pro Krill.
Oh,
Womp womp.
dang.
That's awesome. Extra and don't ask.
Yeah.
I did not pee myself, no matter what anybody says.
It was a water
Tim
bottle,
says,
I
"Baby J, you should be
said.
you should be glad they're not bringing up tartar sauce." Also true.
What's
Oh,
wrong
it's
with
been
tartar
so
sauce?
long since we said those words.
Jen's like,
Say
dang
them
it!
again."
We were getting so far away from it.
Mike, I don't know what you're talking about. Punisher, that's not. Oh my god, I'm killing all of you.
Teeny tiny victories.
Sleep with one eye open, people.
If boop boop is hello, what's beep boop?
I think either of them said beep boop.
I know, but beep boop is like the normal.
Oh.
Boop
Normal
boop
what,
is
Jordan?
different. Normally, when people vocalize the robot noises, they say beep boop.
Hey,
Like a very
somebody
common
likes
thing.
us.
If you don't speak the language, Jordan, you should be careful.
You
Might
know
be
what?
Offensive.
Game Ed Elay.
Beep boop might be offensive. Sir Golden, thank you for the follow.
Welcome.
Oh, and also be Pains, thank you for the sub. I missed that when it came in.
Hello for robots. Yes. Yes. Accurate. I'm just looking out for you, Jordan. Thanks, Game Ed Elay.
Oh, nose boops.
Oh, yep, that makes much more sense.
Term of endearment, Jordan, not robot speak.
If Jason's coming to our homes, does that mean the Attitude Adjuster is back in stock?
$5,000. Revisit.
Yeah, Captain Mannerings, that makes a lot of sense. Trying to make sense of this connection thing that's going to this totally not Coca-Cola can.
The straw thing or the?
Well, it's like a straw, but it's got like a little cap thing on it. I'm just trying to like figure out what it is.
Yeah, because wouldn't there normally be like tubes that go into your mouth so that you
Yeah,
can
he didn't
drink
have
those
those.
things?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. He got one for himself. He's got one for the bird.
Oh, gotcha.
The not bird. It could be that the bird is partaking of the not Coca-Cola, and then he's partaking of the Jack Daniels.
I prefer the story to be the other way around. A lot more interesting if the bird's the one on the Jack Daniel.
I mean,
Especially because it's not a real bird. It's a bowling pin and a clothespin.
it's a bowling pin and door hinges with a clothesline pin for a nose.
Lawrence, not Larry.
Oh.
Jordan, according to Urban Dictionary, beep boop is what you say when you are at a loss for words. I assume that means lost and not loof because I don't know what loof means.
Well, good thing the Urban Dictionary is the Urban Dictionary.
I'm ignorant. Do people drink Jack and Pepsi?
Probably.
Probably.
I mean, if you're at a place that doesn't
If
have
they're
Coca-Cola
desperate.
products, then you kind of have to, right? If you're going to order that beverage.
Nick Pine said Jason could come to my home. I have an Entenmann's crumb cake ready.
Jason, how do you feel about the crumb cake?
Depends. Is it the standard coffee cake one, raspberry filled? What are we talking? Any more
The
details?
cheese one is really good.
Hmm?
The cheese one is good.
Oh yeah, the cheese Danish one is.
Mm-hmm. I like a cheese Danish.
Nobody should ever drink Pepsi.
Agreed.
Ever? Yeah.
I mean, all soda is terrible for you, so no one should really drink it ever. Any kind of soda.
Also correct.
That was good. I grabbed a soda out of the refrigerator today and I put it back and got water instead. One can dream whilst one is broke.
Heathens too, yeah.
Got a couple of clothespins to paint here.
Cinnamon roll with pecan crumble crumb cake. That's like coffee cake.
That
I
sounds
like
good.
pecans with my cinnamon rolls.
That sounds good.
They shouldn't have pecans. They definitely shouldn't have raisins.
What? I don't know why Jen's afraid of raisins.
I hated raisins. Still, I'm not a huge fan. The only thing I liked raisins in was Raisin Bran. It was a weird
Because they're
thing.
just coated in sugar.
Yeah.
Raisin Bran doesn't have any sugar.
The raisins are coated in sugar in Raisin Bran.
Are they?
Yeah. It's super.
At least they were when I was a kid. I haven't touched the stuff in decades.
I remember the box saying specifically that it was like super sugary.
No. Look at
Raisins
that
are an
again. Raisin Bran
abomination.
is
I'm with you, Ghost Hunter.
not super sugary.
I'll look at it later.
Mike said someone once told me to never touch the surface of the model with your fingers, that you might be painting Wait. Never touch the surface of the model with your fingers. But you guys do it all the time. Was I misled?
I mean, there are no hard, fast rules. It's always better to not handle the model because you won't get skin oil on there. We're dealing with water-based paint, so you could see some paint start to bead up if you have a lot of dirt or other oils on your hand while handling. So there's that chance. But it's, as you can see, we do it all the time. Don't have those problems. So been painting for over 45 years. And I would tell you, do what you want.
Yeah. If it like rubs a little of the paint off or something, you just touch it up.
Yeah. I'll hit my models with primer at the end if I've rubbed it off of corners from holding it and all that stuff. People get bent out of shape because they just are new, and there's always a feeling that, a value to the thing you're working on, obviously, and you don't want to cause yourself undue stress by having to redo stuff, but in the reality of it, it's very, very small. The ability to handle the model properly, to get into the nooks and crannies and get the right angle on it is way more important to me than the time spent going back and touching up areas where I may rub paint off or whatever. So, I don't think you were misled.
We sometimes fear what we don't understand. I understand raisins. I understand they don't belong in baked goods. That is correct.
They don't belong in what?
Baked goods.
What?
Correct.
Oatmeal raisin cookies.
No. Bleh. Fucking,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not a fan
gonna
of
agree with you
raisins
there,
either. I
Jason.
don't like grapes really, but I do like wine. So that's how I get my grapes.
Those two things are very different.
Get your
though.
fruit.
Like,
Raisins are good with peanut butter and celery. No, they are not. Peanut butter and celery are fine by themselves. Why would you ruin them by putting raisins on it?
Don't dunk your hands into vats of oil before painting. Also probably a good plan.
Jason just told me to do what I want. What else am I supposed to use this oil for now? That's very confusing messaging right now.
Don't know how to
Jason
act.
says do what you want. Shelby says don't put your hand in a vat of oil. Mike wants to put his hands in a vat of oil.
Hey, it's your life. You live it how you like. Just don't be surprised when the outcome is a little
Uh-oh.
different than expected.
It does not, Nick. Nick Pye said do what you want sounds a lot like eat the paint.
Know where you live.
El Rondorio again. Raisins are unnecessary in that dish.
What dish is that?
Celery with peanut butter.
Shelby, you mean you never eat bacon while painting? Bacon is a wonderful food.
You can't have ants on a log without raisins.
I don't want ants on the log. I just want the log.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I definitely don't want ants anywhere near anything that I have to do with anything. Ever. That doggone Gabe guy making noise out there.
Celery is so good. Does not taste like raw broccoli.
I never
Tastes like its
grew
own.
a taste for celery.
You don't like celery?
It's not that I don't like it. It's not something that I like actively search for. There aren't a ton of vegetables that I just straight up don't like anymore. One of them is Brussels sprouts
Because they're gross.
because they're gross. The other one is what is the other one? I don't remember.
Waiting for chat to tell you just haven't had them cooked right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
You haven't had them the way I make them. Ghost Hunter, I like the way you're thinking. Celery with peanut butter is banging. How about celery with cream cheese? That's pretty good too. Celery tastes like water with coarse hair in it. Ew.
Ugh. Gross.
Ew.
I mean, it's got a little bit of a weird texture when you eat it fresh, but ugh. The thing is, though, celery must have in chicken noodle soup.
Woohoo! Jess,
Cannot not
awesome.
exist.
Jess is currently enjoying a fine dose of aged grapes. By the way, I got the job I interviewed for where I brought up miniature painting.
Nice,
So
congrats.
I'll be installing traffic cameras for my county. That sounds
Nice.
very cool.
That is very cool.
Congratulations. Cream cheese makes everything better. Maybe not everything, but some things for sure. No to Brussels and celery. Pretty much any other veg I'm good with.
Mm-hmm.
Jess, I hope you're not installing those carbon tax cameras in London.
Oh.
Need you to stay safe.
There's something bad happening with
Yeah.
London right now?
Yeah, well, they're trying to install I forget what they call it. Basically carbon tax cameras that tax you based on how much you drive,
Mm-hmm.
unless you have an EV.
Got it.
And there's a group that's been destroying them all. And
I can't delay. So maybe Jay, you'll like them if you take the Brussels sprouts and you're going to need your vats of hand dipping oil for this recipe. Grab the sprouts and your raisins and your airport water bottle.
I hate you.
Mm-mm. Nope. No.
That's the only way to eat Brussels sprouts.
Gross. You guys are gross.
ULEZ bank sheet. Yeah. ULEZ cameras. There's like the ULEZ Freedom Coalition or something like that goes around, and it said that yesterday, or whenever it was, the thing I saw said yesterday in the city of London, they put up 10 more of these and 12 were taken down or covered up. That's how fast these guys are. Like within an hour, those 10 that were installed were non-functional.
Wow.
Yeah, they're really, really against them.
Huh. Interesting. And here you go. You've got Bug King talking about Brussels sprouts. I used to hate them, but you got to just prepare them right.
Teeny tiny victories. It's a lot of fuss over nothing. Most small cars are fine, not just EVs.
If I could eradicate one vegetable, which one would I choose?
Eggplant.
If you could eradicate one vegetable, which would you choose?
I'm gonna be honest, eggplant is worse.
Man, fried eggplant is actually good.
I don't
Really?
mind eggplant. Yeah.
Hmm?
I don't mind eggplant.
Fried eggplant is good.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan
Well,
of like
eggplant
eggplant.
parm.
Like sometimes you can get eggplant
Oh,
parmesan.
that's good.
It's to me, I don't like it.
Huh.
It's too much, and I don't like the texture of eggplant.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The fried eggplant, it can be
you
good.
know, an eggplant is tricky because it can make your throat scratchy if they don't cook it right.
It's
So,
weird.
Yeah.
It's
but
weird.
I don't mind it. Brussels sprouts are the ones.
It's
to get
weird,
rid
but
of for
Brussels
sure.
sprouts would definitely get a rung up on eggplant.
Yeah.
Eggplant isn't on there because I can stand eggplant in certain form.
Yeah, I don't think I mind most other
They're
vegetables.
both pretty bad in my book, to be honest.
Understood. Yeah.
That they're pretty. Yeah, they're pretty.
Jordan
fucked
is a
down.
heretic confirmed yet again. Eggplant
Yep.
is meh. That's kind of it, Mannerings. It's like, hey, I can take it or leave it. It's not one that
It
gets me
wouldn't be
too.
one that I would pick necessarily, but I wouldn't. Yeah, if
Yeah.
it were like
Pretty much
the
every
choice
vegetable.
between
If I had a
eggplant
choice of it and something else,
and
I'd pick the
something
something else
else.
9
Well, it
times out of
depends.
10, unless the something else is Brussels sprouts, at which point in time, burn it with fire. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Brussels sprouts. I
I
can't
like
think of it. Is there a
asparagus.
vegetable that I dislike more than Brussels sprouts is the thing. And, collard greens and mustard greens are pretty high up there.
It's a bitter.
That bitter,
Taste.
horrible taste. But I still think Brussels sprouts are worse.
Wait, didn't you order? Wait, what did you order at the chicken place we went to a while ago?
Okra.
Okra.
Okra's good.
Yeah, okra was.
Fried okra is fantastic.
Yeah.
Okra on its own, unless it's in jambalaya, I'm not really a big fan. Certain soups can get away with it, but mostly like jambalaya or Cajun food uses a lot of diced okra, and that's okay. Or sliced okra, that's okay. But it has to be cooked in a spicy dish. It can't just be, because again, this mushy texture of it. I have the same problem with okra that I do with asparagus sometimes. If it's not cooked right, it can be all
Really?
mushy.
Oh, I like asparagus.
No, I'm not. I just sometimes it has the same problem.
Yeah. I think asparagus is one of my favorite greens.
Greens
Yeah,
need to be
bell
soaked for hours
peppers-
and cooked
Bell
with fat
peppers,
back.
Shelby, are not great.
They need
But
they
Brussels
need to
sprouts are
only be
worse.
fed to bearded dragons is what needs to happen with those. Spinach is okay.
Okra can be slimy if it's not prepared right.
Yeah. Brutal burrito, that's the thing. Like we just heard from Bug King, he said that he didn't like Brussels until somebody cooked them with a ton of spices. And I'm like, yeah, well, if you cook anything in enough flavoring to overpower the flavor of the thing, then it turns out the thing's okay. It's like when you go to eat escargot, they don't serve you escargot by itself. Nobody would eat that. It's horrible. but they serve it in like this crazy rich butter and spicy sauce and stuff, garlic, tons of garlic. So what you really are eating is butter and garlic with a carrier that is a bug.
Game Delay said, my older brother, the third of the Delay children, took us to a family restaurant in Atlanta. Under the hot vegetable section of the menu was mac and cheese.
Vegetables and mac and cheese.
Was it
Eat your veggies.
like a good Southern soul food restaurant, like a is it Mary Mac's Tea Room, the famous place there? So good.
Oh my God, Mike.
Amazing mac and cheese.
Mike, the problem with long pork is no matter how you flavor it, you still get the shakes. They can still tell you've been eating it. Hold your hands out for me, Mike. One of us is a cannibal.
Add fat, acid, and salt to most things and it will taste okay. Exactly. You didn't have to bring your own hand dipping oil.
Mac and cheese is a vegetable. It is in the South. You are correct. You're diabetic, so your hands were already shaking. Oh, so you got a front. They'll never catch you.
They'll never catch you.
He's gonna be a Dateline episode. It's like, and nobody knew. Oh my God, Mike was great at parties. He really lit up a room. No, that's the one that got killed. Is always the one that lit up a room. The killer never lit up a room. I always knew there was something wrong with that kid. I don't trust what people in Florida say about vegetables, but I'll trust you on fruit. Yeah, okay.
That one for age 11.
Oof, rough, Mike.
Cashew sauce and macaroni, or like a vegan mac and cheese.
I've heard, what's the one that I hear about a lot? It's like cottage cheese as a replacement for the bulk of like cheese sauces, and you can mix like
good protein
stuff into it. Yeah.
But it's not gonna make it vegan because cottage cheese is
not vegan, but like
it's not gonna make it vegan. Turns out cottage cheese. It's like the video going around that I think has to be a spoof, but it's this guy saying that he drinks strawberry milk because it's vegan because it's from strawberries instead of from cows.
Strawberries.
I want to hope that's not real, but you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah, chocolate milk. It's all vegan.
Mike, I know. Yeah, I've got some buddies that have had it since birth, right? And so it's like it just is what it is,
My very good friend's daughter has type 1 and has the insulin pack that constantly.
Is this light up the room as opposed to Automaton was such a quiet young man, always kept to himself? Yeah, that's the one. That's both sides of the coin on that show, right? Like if you get a Dateline episode, you're one side of the coin or the other. If you lit up a room, you're gone. We're talking about you posthumously.
We never knew anything was up.
On the other side, Automaton was such a quiet young man, always kept to himself. Chances are you could be alive and awaiting arraignment, or trial, or sentencing, or locked away for a long time.
Chochacho, yep, mashed cauliflower rice, excellent.
Good cauliflower is an interesting one. I'm not a big fan of it raw. I would prefer raw broccoli over cauliflower if I'm looking at those types of whatever they're called. Cauliflower has just a little bit of a too earthy taste for me. But cauliflower, and I also don't like it cooked on its own, but cauliflower made into other things like pizza crust and all that other stuff, and the flour that they make from it is actually really good. But I also like the cricket flour, so I'm a weirdo. I had the cricket flour crust.
What was that?
It's crickets.
They make it out of crickets?
Yeah. They make flour out of bugs.
Hide me!
I'm just trying to get with the future before it hits us. What Automaton says accurate. All I'll say is they'll never find them all. Sure they will, because somebody will offer you a lot of money for your memoirs, and you'll lead them to the bodies. I've watched these shows. I know the outcome.
All vegetables taste better when you pickle them.
Again, if you put enough vinegar and spices on stuff, turns out you don't have to know what the original thing even tasted like. Just pickle it. You can't stand anything with cooked cauliflower. Sapo, if it's too cauliflower forward.
Cauliflower forward?
Then no, you can't do it.
Wow, Jason's using the big words over
I had to drop, not necessarily big words, but very erudite.
Yes, erudite words.
See, when I go out, I am very social, but I don't make a big scene. Keeps them guessing. Killers look for more social, and investigators don't get the quiet kid vibe. You got it all planned out, man. You probably ought not type these things in public.
Yeah, Mike.
Do you get cauliflower cheese over there? You can get anything over here. Anything you can dream up, you can get it here.
At uni, we had to
you can get century eggs here.
What'd you say? You can get what?
Century eggs.
Oh, yeah. It's America. Everything has cheese here.
I do not need century eggs in my life.
They're horrible.
Marinated.
That's one of the
eggs?
few things when I was given overseas. I don't remember where I was when I had it. If it was China or Taiwan, I think maybe. And it was just something where they were like, hey, I told them I'll try anything once. I'm like, I'm gonna suck it up. They cut that thing up, and I cut it open on my plate. And I was like, I accept this.
This one, no thank you.
Somebody in chat the other day said they like them. It never made it into my mouth, so I don't know how it tasted, because sometimes the visceral impact of the smell alone makes it have to go away.
Oh, you know what I want now, though? Scotch egg.
Scotch egg is good.
What is a Scotch egg?
It's like this big fried, horrible, stop your heart thing.
It's like a hard-boiled egg.
And it's wrapped in sausage.
Sausage.
And then fried.
Deep fried. And breaded and deep fried. So good.
So
but
you
it's
have,
not
you have an egg
hard-boiled.
inside of a sausage,
it's like a
breakfast sausage
soft-boiled
wrap,
egg.
and fried.
Yeah, so that when you cut into it, the yolk is still a little runny,
That
so it's
sounds
not
great.
completely hard.
It's so good.
That sounds great.
So good.
There is nothing wrong with that.
It's so
That
good.
sounds awesome.
You can't stand olives? Any of them? I like black olives a lot.
I'm weird. I like black olives on pizza.
Love black olives.
I don't like olives on their own.
Have you ever
I was
had
the kid who
like
put
like
the olives on my finger
blue cheese stuffed
at all
olives?
the holidays.
Like Kalamata olives or something, like green olives stuffed with blue cheese? Well, it'll change your life.
I would probably.
Do you like blue cheese?
I do.
Oh, it'll change your life. Yeah, change your life. Of course, blue cheese happens to be like, I think, the most
tried to
calorie intensive
here
cheese
the
on the
other
planet,
day.
but
Is it?
inside olives, it's good.
Now I have a deeply ingrained memory to never try it again ever.
Green olives are horrendous. Do you only eat them with the pimento in them, or have you ever had them without the pimento?
Oh, Cornish pasty has Scotch eggs. We
Yeah.
should go to Cornish pasty.
We haven't been to pasty in a long time.
It's funny. James was
There's one right downtown.
Yeah.
telling me of things that I need to eat at the end of the month when I'm on the trip. And he was like, "You should go have fish and chips." I was like, "It's like one of the few things that they do over there that's like unique to them."
Beans on toast.
Beans on toast was another thing he said, and
Who's
English
telling you this?
breakfast. James.
Our James?
Hmm?
Oh.
I've never been there before, so it'll be
Full
interesting.
English
I haven't
breakfast.
Yeah, never been there before.
Get
Thirsty Lion also has Scotch eggs, Shelby. And they're pretty good.
I forget what they call
The
it.
pasties.
It's dippy eggs, but it's like soldiers.
They got like a weird name for it.
Yeah, they got a
Yeah.
weird English name for it, but it's a soft boiled egg and then strips of toast. And
Oh, yeah, that seems good.
they serve it in that soft boiled egg thing that rich people have instead of like on a plate. They put it in one of those holders where
Yeah.
only half the egg is visible, and you have to tap around it with the tiny spoon and then peel the thing off and then cut it and dip your toast inside the yolk.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I've had something similar. I like one of the things I like to have for breakfast is like a piece of toast with a fried egg on it that's over easy and a little bit of ketchup. The thing that I like. I don't eat it a ton, but I like that.
Extra in, exactly. There's only been a few times in my travels around the globe, because I've been nearly everywhere. Well, not everywhere, like as in every city, but in every region of the world I've been and spent time. And whenever I would travel, I would say that. I'd be like, show me something that the locals would call a night out on the town, not where you take like, visitors.
Yep.
And there were places like in Thailand where I couldn't eat the whole dish because it was too hot. Because I said, don't tone it down.
Ooh.
Feed it to me the way you would eat it. And the lady was like, no. She'd experienced people like me trying to be brave before. And they brought out what was like it was like a coconut broth soup, like what is it, Tom Kha?
Yeah, Tom Kha.
Tom Kha
I think,
style.
yeah.
It had like the coconut mushrooms, all that, and it just had this floaty oil of pepper oil on the top that was
yeah.
just like you knew it was going to burn you up. And I took a little cup of that and I started sipping out of the cup. And I couldn't finish it. But the rest of the meal was really good because I'd already burned my mouth out on the soup by then. Holy hell, the spices
you
were...
Teeny
tempered
Tiny
your
Victory
palate.
said egg and soldiers is the least posh eggs.
This is the least posh
Yeah.
eggs.
Eggs and soldiers. That's what you were talking about, Jason.
Well, it's posh in that nobody in the U.S. eats them in the thing.
We assume that if it's not something that we have here, that it's posh.
Nobody. No, we have it here, but we would put the egg on a plate and you would cut it
I
up.
don't know what you're
Yeah,
talking
you
about.
would literally you'd fry an egg, you'd stick it on piece.
You've
on
seen
top
them
of a piece
before.
of
They're
toast.
they're tall. They're probably like 8 or 9 inches tall, and they hold an egg.
That's like for poached eggs.
Yeah.
That's for poached eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Italy has the best food. Italy does have very good food. I like it. I like Italian food.
But yes, Loco Moco.
We need
delish.
Mateo here so he can get really mad at me.
He would be
I don't talk about Italian food unless Mateo's around because he gets really angry with me. I sent him the other day. We went to a Japanese place.
Oh yeah, and you had spaghetti.
We went with Japanese place, and it was the weirdest thing. On the menu, they had an Italian section
Yeah.
that had like 5 or 6 things on it. One of them was
Place.
bolognese. They had pasta bolognese at a
ordered
Japanese place that was like pho, and it was like
Noodles,
Asian
ramen,
and
other
that kind of
noodles
stuff.
and
And so I was like, I don't know. I really want because they also had the katsu curry. So I was like, chicken katsu
so
curry looked really
good.
good, and I was like, so I'll do the katsu curry. But I was like, but they got Italian at a Japanese place. I got to try it. So when the waitress came by, I was like, I have a question. Is any of the Italian food actually good? And she's like, lots of people like it. And I was like, I'll have the
people
bolognese.
at the table next to us had.
I was like,
they
I'll
both
have the
had
bolognese at the Japanese noodle place.
And did you message Mateo about it?
And I messaged Mateo
Oh
about it.
my
It's like I
God.
took a picture. I said, Mateo. It's like, I'm at a Japanese place eating bolognese. And I took a picture and sent it to him. He said he was going to fly here and murder me. That was his answer. His answer was he was going to buy a flight and murder me. Also that we are not friends anymore.
He says that every time you say anything about Italian food. Oh man, it's so
Yeah,
funny.
he said it was good.
Oh.
Yeah, it was pretty good. He sent me pictures of like tacos, so he can't talk.
Oh, that's right. He did. Yeah.
The one thing I know Italians can't make is tacos, and he proved it. I was like, what is that alien contraption you got on your plate there? Putting stuff in a tortilla does not make it a taco. It kind of does.
I mean, it kind of does.
It makes it a wrap.
It makes it a wrap.
Went to a con a couple of years ago where there's a traveling sub-con that challenges you to eat a dried pepper at random, one of the above 3. Goal is to see how long you can last before taking a drink.
Yikes.
That's always rough, right?
The 3 are ghost peppers, Carolina Reapers, and scorpions.
Those are all rough peppers because they also don't have that great a taste. I'm not a fan of hot for hot's sake. I like hot and tasty. Habaneros being a big thing, but people butcher them and put them in with like peach and some sort of fruity nonsense all the time, which makes them less appealing.
It balances it.
Depending on where you get the tortilla, the blah, oh my god.
You okay over there?
Depending on where you get the tacos from, yes. Different places have different kinds of tacos. Those ones are ones that I'm definitely familiar with, which is just meat, cilantro, onions on a corn tortilla.
That's a street taco.
Yeah.
Teeny Tiny Victory said I introduced my 77-year-old dad to microwave popcorn this evening, and it blew his mind. That's so fun.
That's awesome.
Habaneros are great. I get so bummed out because I go and like one of my things that I was trying for a while is at the grocery store we'll do like cheese and bread night when we're not really hungry, but Jen will say I just want snacks, so either she or I'll go to the grocery store and get bread and cheese. And I went a couple times and they had like habanero cheddar or habanero flavor, with habanero pepper and usually white cheddar, and so I got it the first time, but I'm always looking and it didn't say anywhere on it that it had any fruit in it in the list of ingredients or anything. And it did.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
It had like chunks of fruit in it. And I was like, why does it not say this in the ingredients? So the next time I went back and they had, the only other one that they had was called sweet habanero. I was like, why are you ruining the habanero by putting fruit in the
those were
cheese?
good though.
Huh?
I thought the pepper ones were all good, weren't they?
The fruit in the habanero is not great. It ruins the deal for me.
What about
I just want
carrots?
it to be, huh?
What about carrots and
Carrots in habanero?
Mhm.
Where would I find this? In salsa?
Yeah.
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 I would expect that.
Yeah. It's not bad. Not bad.
But I like all my salsa pureed.
It is pureed.
How would you know there were carrots?
Because they tell you that it's a carrot habanero salsa.
I'd have to have one that was gonna try pepper X. No way, dude. If they throw an X on it, they're just trying to kill you. On the scale of healthy to heart disease, I liked basically every Hungarian dish that was 50 to 90% towards heart disease.
Oh gosh.
Well, that's another thing. Like in Scotland, I couldn't do haggis. I had 2 bites of haggis and I couldn't do any more. And the locals applauded me for eating the 2 bites.
They even eat it? I don't even think they.
Yeah, the guy next to me did. Old local Scottish guy. He said, if you don't like it, I'll buy yours. I didn't let him. We bought it anyway. But it was not good. Habanero sugar cookies. Now we're talking.
Ooh. I would actually be really curious to try a habanero sugar cookie. That just sounds really interesting. Ugh. Lamb's liver. You guys are getting into some weird stuff. Oh my gosh.
Well, jalapenos have more flavor than a habanero, but habanero, I think it has a lot of flavor. Habanero ice cream is a gimmick. I've never heard of it.
Jerk chicken, man. I remember the last time I had a roommate. He was cooking jerk chicken in the kitchen, and we have our like computer setups like in the like right outside the kitchen. And I literally had to leave. I had to like walk outside.
The smell or the heat, just a spice in the air.
Yeah, from the jerk chicken.
Yeah,
I just like saying it makes me have that kind of cough reflex.
Burning your eyes and the back of your throat's itching.
Yeah, he's like, "This is totally fine. What do you mean?" I'm like, "You smoke."
Yeah.
You
Negative. Negative. You say, do you have a favorite restaurant locally? You asking us? I'm sure we all do.
You do for sure.
Yeah.
I know yours.
I'm kind of a one-trick pony.
Mm-hmm.
I have a place called Los Dos Molinos that has 2 restaurants here in the valley. The old one that's downtown, well, south of downtown and the southern side of Phoenix, and then the uptown one that's by us.
Mm.
That's probably what I would have to call my favorite restaurant.
I don't know what my favorite restaurant is around here.
If somebody comes to town and says, show me Phoenix food, I go take them to Los Dos. It's kind of a very interesting, kind of nuanced version of Sonoran Mexican food. It's really good. Really good salsa. Again, habanero. It fits it checks all the boxes for me.
Where would I...
Jordan, tomorrow more small gap filling?
Yeah, I need to take the heat gun and bend the wings a little bit, because this part needs to come out a little bit so it sits more flush against the body. And I need to do a little cleanup on these. But I think I am going to glue everything together on the Dragon before painting it.
Negative, yeah, if you come up from Tucson, yeah, Los Dos, although we have tons of restaurants around us here at the restaurant. We're in Central Phoenix, and we have, like, the best food of the entire valley.
Yeah. That's why I don't have a favorite.
Like, within a 5 mile, maybe even a 2 or 3 mile diameter, we have everything you'd ever want right around here. In spades.
I think there's definitely one thing up here that I didn't have in Seattle that's like a fast food place that I go to on the regular now that didn't exist, and that's Cane's.
Oh, Cane's.
So, I mean, we had a Zell's, but I don't think a Zell's is anywhere near as good as Cane's.
Cooking spicy food where it makes you cough is just preparing yourself for tear gas and pepper spray. Yes, exactly. Los Dos is consistent. Yep, exactly.
Mike, am I recording the heat, the bending the resin with the heat? Is that what you're talking about?
Ghost Hunter, you want a pasty, but nobody near you sells them? Where are you?
Florida.
Oh. Yeah, we have Cornish pasty here. It's kind of like a pseudo punk rock. It's an interesting place. Because it has kind of a punk rock vibe to it, but it's a pasty place. So.
Oh, no, pasty.
It's very dark.
Negative. There's no Cane's in Seattle. I'm from Seattle. I moved to Phoenix last year.
Yeah, there's Cane's here.
Right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Yep.
They get a lot of our employees' business.
Yep. It would take less time for me to walk to Cane's than it would for me to walk to the office. And I've already talked about how quick it is for me to walk.
Well, it's true. Yeah, I guess it's right out until you're right.
Yeah, it's super close. It's literally like kitty corner. And Mike, I'll see what we can do about it. At least to get some footage of it.
All right, gang.
That's it?
We're done.
It's 4:02.
We made it to Zaxby's is better than Cane's. Is
I think we're
Zaxby's
getting-
just a children's menu too?
We're getting No, Zaxby's is good, but I think we're getting them.
Is it chicken?
Mhm.
But do they have like other kinds of chicken?
Yeah, it's not just chicken.
It's fried
fingers.
chicken?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fried
nice.
chicken.
I'm
They have
down.
Good. They have good salads. They have.
Songer,
they
thanks
do
for
the
hanging out. Everybody,
Texas
thank you for hanging out with
toast.
us. If you're new
It's
here, please hit that
delicious.
follow button. We'd love to see you back. We stream 5 days a week, Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Phoenix, Arizona time. You're going to see some links coming up in chat from Jen there. Make sure that you check out all of them. Go to the monumenthobbies.com page to check out the store for all the Pro Acryl paints, brushes, and all the other stuff you see us using. As well as the friendly local gaming store, Store Locator. So you can support a local store that carries Monument products.
And sometimes Saturdays.
And then our Discord, where, as Ghost Hunter says, you got 4,307 amazing artists and 1 future Monument Hobbies night shift employee. And we'd love to see you on there.
What
We had
happened when I was
24/7
gone?
community integration, so you can come in, check out what's going on at Monument, hear about the latest building fire we've had, and hang
there's
out and
only
have a
been
good
one.
time.
Has not been one since, thank goodness.
And then, of course, if you're watching us on YouTube or if you're watching us on Twitch, you'll be able to catch the after show, or it's the same show, but after it goes, so you can watch it again on the live tab over on YouTube. All of our streams get posted over there as soon as we stop. So thank you for hanging out. Stick around. If you're over on YouTube, you might want to jump over to Twitch. We're going to find somebody to raid. Take your hobby off into the evening. Have a wonderful time. We will see you back here again mañana. Adios, gang. We're out of here.
Bye.
See you, folks.